order. The time is now 2 o'clock, almost 2:01. We will begin questions by members put to ministers, and we will finish with a few minutes or a few seconds extra at the end. I recognize the Honourable Leader of the Official Opposition.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. Madam Speaker, it took 3 weeks of sustained pressure inside this House and without for the Premier to actually finally meet with the grape growers and local wine producers in Nova Scotia. We know, however, that based on Freedom of Information requests, that the Premier had met with the two commercial bottlers many times since 2022. Madam Speaker, why did it take 3 weeks of public pressure and bad headlines for the Premier to do the right thing, meet with our local fine representatives, and agree to pause this dangerous plan that he had in place that could have jeopardized them all?
I recognize the Honourable Premier.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. And we're big fans of the industry for sure, supporters of the industry over the years. Brings incredible potential to grow that industry. So I'm pleased that we had a productive meeting last night. I know leading up to that, the ministers had been meeting with the group. I was happy to be able to meet with them last night. But I think the reality is that there's so much potential for the province in that industry, but in so many other industries. We need to grow the economy of the province. That's all we're trying to do. I hope the member doesn't take offense to trying to grow the economy of the province. That's what we're trying to do. We don't always get it right. When we don't, we try to fix it, and we'll do that here too as well.
I recognize the Leader of the Official Opposition.
Madam Speaker, it's very clear that you don't grow the economy by putting $250 million of our economy in farm wines in jeopardy. That's not how you grow the economy. That's how you kill our rural economy. And the fact is, the Premier met with commercial bottlers 2 years ago. It took sustained pressure from this chamber and from the industry representatives who didn't take this issue laying down, and I'm proud of them for not doing that, for him to actually meet with them and agree to pause with this. Why did it take so long for the Premier to realize how important this sector is and that his plans could have jeopardized the whole thing?
I recognize the Honourable Premier.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. And I certainly don't want to give the member the impression that he had any impact on this decision. He certainly did not. We've been supporters of this industry for quite some time. I think that there's agreement that there are different sectors to the industry. They can coexist. We need to get that right. There's a desire from stakeholders across the spectrum to grow the industry. I share that desire. We'll get the right path forward. I'm confident in that. That's what we all want. We all want better things for Nova Scotia. We grow incredible grapes here. Incredible grapes here. The potential for the industry is not just potential, it's being realized that we're seeing it in increasing sales. So we'll continue to look for ways to make sure that we do what's right by all Nova Scotians.
I recognize the Honourable Leader of the Official Opposition on his final supplementary.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I'm absolutely not taking credit for this. What happened is very obvious. The Premier got caught doing the wrong thing for the wrong reasons, and he didn't have a leg to stand on. First, this was a trade issue. Now it's an economic development issue. There's been no evidence produced that either of those things had anything to do with this change. Madam Speaker, the Premier says he's pausing the subsidy to commercial bottlers who are importing juice to compete with local wine growers. But we've heard from the Minister of Finance that the government has already dished out money to commercial wine bottlers already. Could the Premier please confirm if that's happened, if this program in fact hasn't been paused, and how much money has been provided to commercial bottlers in forms of subsidy?
The Honourable Premier.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. The program has been in place since January. There's multiple programs. They all initiate at the same time. So we're going to work to make sure we get it right. We've agreed to that. We'll work in that in good faith. We're sincere. We want to grow. We want to grow the sector, and the member should just be careful with his phrases. I mean, getting caught is something that happened with the member with the Auditor General's report on the theft of public money that the Auditor General was very clear the Liberal Party tried to conceal until after an election. We're not caught on anything. We're acknowledging that there's a way to maybe get this a little better. We're committed to doing that, and we will make sure that that happens. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
I recognize the Leader of the New Democratic Party.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Let's talk about